because what we're going to witness now is one of the most important things happening in the pro-life movement today. As most of you know, my name is Father Frank Pavone. I serve as National Director of Priests for Life. Because we are convinced of something that Dr. Bernard Nathanson said and has said for many years. Dr. Nathanson being one of those who, as he describes it, uncaged the abortion monster in the United States. And of course he has repented and he has become pro-life, and he works and prays every day for an end to abortion. And he has written much and spoken much. And Dr. Nathanson, when he reflects on how the abortion movement got started in this country and gives the history of what he and his colleagues did, here's what he says. We would never have gotten away with what we did if the priests had been united, purposeful, and strong. And so what we at Priests for Life aim to do, with your cooperation, with your help, what we are trying to do each and every day is to encourage and bless and sustain our priests so that they will be more united, purposeful, and strong, so that the abortion industry will still not get away with what they're trying to do. There are, and I was just talking with 3 of the priests that are on this walk today, commenting that we have seen many priests along the march and ministers of other denominations as well, because this is an interdenominational effort. This is an effort that unites the disciples of Christ. The other day in Washington, D.C., in my role as president of the National Pro-Life Religious Council, we had a prayer service on the morning of January 22nd, and we conducted that prayer service inside the United States Capitol. And we had clergy there from denominations representing almost every letter of the alphabet. It was fabulous. Together, in the name of Christ, we will turn back this culture of death. I want to say a word of encouragement about 2 things that are happening in the pro-life movement, and there are many things. 2 signs of progress, 2 foreshadowings of victory that we have to look at and to encourage us and that we can participate in. One of those, the campaign that I'm privileged to help coordinate around the country and around the world, I'll speak about in a moment, and you'll hear from some of these witnesses, some of these men and women who have lost children to abortion. But first, let me mention many of you are coordinating or have coordinated 40 Days for Life campaigns in your communities. And I was with the national team a few days ago in Washington, and at that prayer service that I just mentioned that we had in the Capitol, we were able to give the 40 Days teams from across the country who came to the March for Life an opportunity to meet each other. We want to do the same thing here today. If you have or are going to be involved in this beautiful effort of 40 days of penance and prayer, of fasting, of praying at the abortion mills, of public witness, we want to give you an opportunity to meet one another. And so you can gather right in this area after we have the testimonies, and let's introduce ourselves to each other and encourage each other as we prepare for another spring campaign to start on February the 25th, which is Ash Wednesday, and to go throughout the Lenten season. As I have said for over 15 years, when we go out to the abortion mills, we are attacking abortion at its weakest link. They have strength in the political arena, but if we can close the abortion mills, that strength does them no good. And there's another powerful thing happening. Abortion is destroying itself. What I mean is, the more it's practiced because of the false promise that it will benefit women's health or advance women's rights or somehow solve the problems of an individual who's carrying a child about which she does not know what to do, or of a society that in the view of some has just too many children, this false promise is proving itself to be false. this path is proving itself to be a dead end. And it doesn't just happen that way because we make the arguments. We do make the arguments. We have to continue to make the arguments in private conversations and in the pulpits and on television and radio and in every way we can. But what is breaking through the darkness, above all, is the testimony of men and women like those in the Silent No More awareness campaign. Because they are standing up and they are saying, I was deceived. I made this so-called choice, or somebody else made it for me. And it has not solved my problems. It has caused more problems. It has not lifted me up. It has cast me down. It has not freed me. It has enslaved me. It has not advanced my life. It has wounded and crippled my life. And they will testify to that here this afternoon. But brothers and sisters, it's more than a testimony that abortion is a dead end. It's a testimony that Jesus Christ is the way and the truth and the life. It's a testimony that when we are burdened with sin, when we are crushed by sin, when we are in a dark corner, unable to even raise our eyes up to heaven, that Jesus Christ comes and he sheds the light of his grace and the power of his blood and the redemption of his cross, and he enables us to stand up and to be silent no more, to get up out of that shame, to be lifted up out of that despair, and to say to the world, he lives, he reigns, and he forgives our sins. He is the King of Kings. He is the Lord of Lords. He's the King of America. He's the Lord of the Supreme Court. He's the King of the Congress, and he is Lord over the White House. But friends, the strength, never forget this, the strength of the pro-abortion movement in the next 4 years will not come from Barack Obama sitting in the White House. The strength they have will come only if we sit in our houses. We come out with them to have public rallies all over the nation, in the street corners, at the malls, everywhere we can gather to share this witness that abortion hurts and that Jesus Christ heals. And that will give hope. Anyone here who has had an abortion and is continuing to suffer from that, anyone that we know of, so many people, their testimony will give those people the courage to come forward and to say, I want what they have. I want to be healed. And we're asking you, brothers and sisters, therefore, to be the arms, the heart, the presence of Christ by talking about the testimonies you will hear here this afternoon, by pointing people to the Silent No More Awareness Campaign, because it is a network of healing all the different abortion healing ministries in the world. We are networking together and pointing people to whatever resource is going to help them the most. We ask you to spread that word. That's one of the most important things we all do in the pro-life effort. Sound forth the word that healing is available. The church doesn't just stand up in this culture and point a finger of condemnation. The church extends as a hand of mercy and of strength, of healing and of hope where there is despair. SilentNoMoreAwareness.org. Send people there, even if they just want to say, yes, I had an abortion and I regret it. If they just want to be counted, they can sign up confidentially on that site just to be counted. They may want to take a further step and do what these individuals are doing today. They may want to hold a sign at a rally. They may want to give a testimony. They may want to give a testimony in church if the pastor allows. But bring people to this tidal wave that is moving across the country, because there is nothing that the pro-abortion movement can do to stop the power of these testimonies. Nothing.